You look in the mirror, pull back the skin on your cheek, and worry it looks like tissue paper. You blink hard, trying to clear away that sandy, gritty feeling that seems to greet you every single morning. It is frustrating, isn't it? You assume this is just part of the package of getting older. You think that waking up with blurred vision or eyes that feel like they are glued shut is just something you have to live with. But what if I told you that the foggy vision and the discomfort you feel at 7 a.m. are actually being caused by what you did at 10 p.m.? What if the culprit isn't your age, but a specific set of habits you do every night without even thinking about them? Many seniors do this every night, and it leads to more dryness, more glare, and more morning blur. Tonight, you can fix it with one small change. Let me show you what it is and why it matters. We often obsess over our diet and our exercise during the day, but we completely neglect how we treat our eyes during the 8 hours we are asleep. It turns out that nighttime is actually the most critical period for your eyes to repair and rehydrate themselves. If we disrupt that process, we are essentially aging our eyes faster every single night. In this conversation, we are going to uncover the hidden nighttime habits that are secretly stealing your clear vision. We are going to look at the environment you sleep in, the position you lie in, and one specific mistake that almost everyone makes. By the end of this time together, you will have a simple, effective routine to wake up with eyes that feel fresh and clear. Before we jump into these vision savers, if you care about staying healthy and independent, consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications. We share the kind of senior health tips that doctors often overlook because they are too busy to explain the details. And let me ask you something. Are you watching from the US, the UK, Canada, or elsewhere? Drop a comment below with where you are from. I am always curious how far our senior health community reaches, and it is wonderful to see us all connecting from different corners of the world. Let us get right into the heart of the matter. To understand why your morning vision is blurry, we first have to understand what is happening to your eyes while you sleep. You might think your eyes are just resting, but they are actually working incredibly hard. During the day, you blink thousands of times. Each blink spreads a thin layer of tears across your cornea, which is the clear front window of your eye. This tear film is complex. It has a water layer to hydrate, an oil layer to prevent evaporation, and a mucus layer to stick it all to the eye. When you sleep, you stop blinking, your eyelids close, and that tear film is supposed to nurture your cornea all night long. It is like soaking a dry sponge in water. However, as we get older, our bodies produce fewer tears, and the oil glands in our eyelids often get clogged. This is natural, but it means our margin for error is much smaller than it was when we were 30. If you add a bad environment or a bad habit on top of this natural aging process, you end up with a disaster for your vision. This brings us to the first and perhaps the most common mistake on our list. It is something that feels comforting, but is actually a silent enemy to your tear film. I am talking about sleeping with a fan pointing directly at you or having the air conditioning blowing across your face. It sounds harmless, doesn't it? Maybe you get hot flashes, or maybe you just need that white noise to drift off. I had a friend named Margaret who swore she could not sleep without her ceiling fan on high speed, right above her bed. She came to me complaining that her eyes felt like sandpaper every morning. She thought she had an infection. I asked her about her room environment. When she told me about the fan, I asked her to try just one night without it, or at least to move it. She was skeptical, but she tried it. 2 days later, she told me the difference was night and day. Here is the simple science of why this happens. Even though your eyelids are closed, they are not airtight seals. There is often a tiny gap, or the air simply moves across the delicate skin of the eyelids, cooling them down and causing the tears underneath to evaporate at a rapid rate. It is basic physics. Moving air accelerates evaporation. When that air is constantly hitting your face for 8 hours straight, it strips away the moisture that your eyes are desperately trying to build up. This leads to something called exposure keratopathy, where the surface of the eye becomes dried out and damaged. When you wake up after a night under the fan, your vision is blurry because the surface of your eye is literally rough. Imagine looking through a windshield that is pitted and dry versus one that is smooth and wet with rain. That is the difference. If you absolutely need air circulation, do not point the fan at your body. Turn it to face the wall or the corner of the room so you get the airflow without the direct draft, or simply wear a gentle sleep mask. It creates a micro environment of humidity around your eyes, protecting them from the turbulent air. It is a small change, but it preserves that precious tear film. Now, moving on to the next major issue, and this one has to do with light. We all know we shouldn't be doom scrolling on our phones before bed, but for your eyes, the problem goes deeper than just poor sleep. It is about the physical strain and the chemical signals you are sending to your brain. When you turn off the bedside lamp and the room goes pitch black, but you pick up your phone or tablet to check the news or weather one last time, you are creating a scenario of extreme contrast. Your pupils have to dilate or open wide to adjust to the darkness of the room. But at the same time, the center of your vision is being blasted by a bright, concentrated light source. This confuses the eye muscles. They are trying to relax for the dark and focus for the light simultaneously. This causes digital eye strain, which can leave your eyes feeling sore and heavy the next morning. But there's a more chemical reason to stop this. The blue light emitted by these screens mimics daylight. When that light hits your retina, it signals to your brain to stop producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. But recent studies suggest this light exposure might also affect the circadian rhythm of the eyes themselves. Your eyes have their own internal clock that dictates repair cycles. By blasting them with artificial daylight at 11 p.m., you might be delaying the restorative processes that clear out cellular debris. If you must look at a screen, try to use the night mode setting, which warms the colors and reduces blue light. Better yet, try the 20-20-20 rule even at night. If you are reading on a tablet every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. But really, the best medicine is to banish the screen 30 minutes before sleep. Listen to an audiobook or a podcast instead. Let your eyes rest before you even close them. This leads us naturally to the environment of your bedroom itself. We talked about fans, but there is another invisible factor that dries you out, and that is humidity. In the winter or in air-conditioned homes, the air can become incredibly dry like a desert. As we age, our skin gets drier and our mucous membranes get drier. That includes the lining of your nose and your eyes. If your bedroom humidity drops below 30%, the air acts like a sponge, sucking moisture out of your body. You might wake up with a dry mouth and a scratchy throat, and you can bet your eyes are suffering too. This dryness causes the eyelids to stick to the eyeball. It sounds terrible, and it can be. When you open your eyes in the morning, that sticking can cause micro abrasions on the cornea. It is like ripping a bandage off a wound every single morning. The fix is simple and affordable. Get a cool mist humidifier for your bedside table. Aim for a humidity level of about 40 to 50%. It does not just help your eyes, it helps your skin and your breathing too. It is one of those passive health hacks where you turn it on and it works for you while you sleep. You will notice that when the air is moist, your eyes feel lubricated and smooth when you first blink in the morning. Now, let us talk about something that might surprise you, your pillow and your sleeping position. We rarely think about mechanical pressure on our eyes, but for seniors, this is a very real concern. There is a condition called floppy eyelid syndrome, which is more common in older adults, especially men. It is where the eyelid becomes loose and rubbery and easily flips over during sleep, especially if you sleep face down or press your face hard into the pillow. If your eyelid flips or opens slightly while you are mashed into the pillow, your eye is exposed to the bedding all night. This causes chronic irritation and discharge. Even if you do not have that syndrome, sleeping with your face pressed against the pillow puts pressure on the eye itself. This can temporarily raise the intraocular pressure, which is the fluid pressure inside the eye. For those with glaucoma or risk factors for it, sustained pressure on the eye is something we want to avoid. Imagine pressing your thumb gently against a grape for 8 hours. That is essentially what a firm pillow does to your eyeball. If you are a stomach sleeper, the best position for your eyes is on your back. It encourages fluid to drain properly from around the eyes, reducing those puffy bags in the morning, and it ensures no external pressure is applied to the globe of the eye. If you cannot sleep on your back, try to sleep on your side, but position your pillow so that the pressure is on your temple or your ear, not on your eye socket. There are even special pillows designed with cutouts to protect the face. It might take a few nights to get used to, but your eyes will thank you. Let us dig a little deeper into hygiene. I know we all wash our faces, but how many of us specifically wash our eyelids? It sounds odd, doesn't it? But there is a tiny microscopic creature that lives on almost all of us, especially as we get older. They are called Demodex mites. I do not want to alarm you or gross you out, but these tiny mites live in our eyelash follicles. They are a normal part of the human microbiome. However, as our immune system changes with age, the population of these mites can grow out of control. They eat the dead skin and oils around the lashes. When there are too many of them, they cause inflammation, redness, and crustiness along the eyelid margin. This is the leading cause of morning blurriness and itchy eyes. If you are just splashing water on your face, you are not removing the debris that these mites thrive on. You need a dedicated lid hygiene routine. This does not mean scrubbing hard with soap, which can be irritating. It means using a gentle, commercially available eyelid wipe or even just diluted baby shampoo on a washcloth. Gently wipe along the base of the eyelashes to clear away the oily buildup and dead skin. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You wouldn't go to bed without brushing your teeth because, plaque builds up. Well, plaque builds up on your eyelids too in the form of oil and bacteria. By keeping that area clean, you allow the oil glands to function properly. And those oil glands are the secret to preventing dry eyes because the oil they produce coats your tears and stops them from evaporating. Speaking of those oil glands, let us talk about the absolute best thing you can do for your eyes before bed. If you take nothing else away from this conversation, please take this. It is the warm compress. Our eyelids contain dozens of tiny glands called Meibomian glands. They look like little tubes of toothpaste standing upright in your eyelids. They secrete the oil that is essential for vision. When we are young, that oil flows like olive oil, smooth and clear. As we age, that oil starts to thicken. It becomes more like butter or even toothpaste. It gets stuck inside the glands. When the oil is stuck, your tears are just water, and water evaporates instantly. The solution is heat. Heat melts the butter. Every night, or at least a few times a week, spend 5 to 10 minutes with a warm compress over your closed eyes. You can buy a microwavable bead mask, which holds heat nicely, or you can just use a warm washcloth, though you will have to reheat it often. The warmth feels wonderful. It is relaxing and helps you fall asleep. But mechanically, it is liquefying that clogged oil. After the compress, take a moment to gently massage your eyelids. Roll your finger down the upper lid and up the lower lid. You are physically helping to express that fresh oil onto the surface of your eye. It is the single most effective way to combat dry eye and morning blur. It is like an oil change for your car, but for your eyes. So let us put this all together into a manageable routine. I know it sounds like a lot, but it really flows quite naturally. We can call it the last 30 minutes rule. 30 minutes before bed, you put the phone away, you go to the bathroom and wash your face, paying attention to the eyelids specifically. You gently wipe the lash line, then you get into bed. You make sure the fan is not pointing at you. You check that your humidifier is humming quietly. You lie back and place that warm mask over your eyes for just 5 or 10 minutes while you listen to something soothing or just breathe. When you take the mask off, you blink a few times, feeling that moisture coat your eyes. Then you turn out the lights and drift off, ideally on your back or carefully positioned on your side. This routine signals to your body that the day is over. It lowers your stress levels, which is also good for inflammation, and it physically prepares your eyes for the long night ahead. You might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of effort just to see a bit better. But let me remind you of the alternative. Chronic dry eye and inflammation do not just mean discomfort. Over time, chronic inflammation can damage the surface of the eye permanently. It can scar the cornea. It can make cataract surgery more complicated if you ever need it. Taking care of the surface of your eye is the foundation of preserving your sight. It might feel a bit unsettling to learn all this, but remember, knowledge is power. Now that you know about the fans, the screens, and the sleeping positions, you can make simple changes to protect your health. You do not need to overhaul everything overnight. Even cutting down on the screen time or moving the fan can spare your eyes a lot of stress. You might start to notice less stiffness in the mornings and more clarity when you look out the window. Imagine waking up and seeing the alarm clock clearly without having to rub your eyes for a minute first. That is the difference these small tweaks can make over time. Let us recap the key points so they stick. First, avoid direct airflow. No fans blowing on the face. Second, hydration. Drink water throughout the day, but hydrate your eyes externally with a humidifier at night. Third, position matters. Try to stay off your face to avoid pressure. Fourth, hygiene. Clean those eyelids to keep the mites and bacteria in check. And finally, the warm compress. Melt that oil so it can do its job. So to recap, avoid the dry air and the direct pressure that sap your vision, and embrace the moisture and the warmth that fortify your eyes. It is all about giving your body what it needs and avoiding the sneaky things that cause harm. I know getting older is hard. The aches, the fear of losing mobility, and the worry about our vision fading, it can be scary and discouraging. But you are not alone in this, and it is not too late to turn things around. Every small step you take, every better habit you build is strengthening your future freedom. One night, one routine at a time, you are taking charge of your health. Remember, your body is always trying to heal and strengthen itself. All we have to do is give it the right fuel and care. Growing older might be inevitable, but waking up with painful, blurry eyes doesn't have to be. With the right habits, you can stay clear, focused, and independent. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Do you sleep with a fan, and did you ever suspect it was causing your eye issues? Share your story or any questions in the comments below. I read every single one, and we all learn from each other. What change are you going to make after listening to this? Let us know in the comments. Your plan might inspire someone else here. If this video helped you or opened your eyes even a little, please hit the like button. It means a lot. And do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on important health insights that could improve your life. We have plenty more science-backed tips for thriving in your golden years, because your health and independence are worth fighting for. If you are still with me and determined to keep your vision sharp, type a number 1 in the comments to affirm it. Your voice matters here. Stay strong, stay healthy, and remember, your independence is carried by your vision, so let us protect it. Keep taking those small steps for your health. They add up to giant strides in your freedom.